The world has passed another sobering milestone in the coronavirus pandemic. The total number of global cases of the virus has now surpassed 10 million, while the number of global deaths now exceeds 500,000. The U.S., Brazil, and Britain rank the highest in terms of fatalities. In the U.S., the state of Florida has reported a record daily increase of nearly 10,000 new cases, and 4 other states have also seen record spikes. Infections are particularly surging in regions that lifted lockdowns early.
They've been battling the coronavirus round the clock, but U.S. medical professionals are at their limits. In the state of Texas alone, nearly 6,000 new cases were confirmed in just one day. Despite the rise in infections, Vice President Mike Pence went to this Baptist church in Dallas to speak to hundreds in the congregation. Even though the total number of COVID-19 cases has surged above 2.5 million, Pence remains optimistic.
What the American people should know is that because of the leadership that President Trump has provided, because of the extraordinary innovation that we have brought to this task, we're in a much better place to respond to these outbreaks than we were 4 months ago.
But criticism of the government's crisis management is growing louder, in part due to images like these. Before Donald Trump's rally in Tulsa, his campaign ordered the removal of thousands of social distancing stickers from arena seats. His rival, Joe Biden, said his response to the pandemic would have been very different.
I would go back to making sure that everybody had masks, that you had PPE lined up. We have been making sure we stockpile all the things that we need that we don't have now. The one thing we do know, these masks make a gigantic difference.
As usual, President Trump didn't wear a mask while golfing over the weekend.
Well, Germany's first airport-based coronavirus testing center is opening in Frankfurt. The company behind the so-called walk-through center says it's a blueprint for the return to air travel and a new normal for airports. Let's bring in correspondent Chelsea Delaney, who is at Frankfurt Airport for us. So, Chelsea, this is the first airport testing center in Germany. How exactly will it work?
Well, there are a couple different ways that people flying in or out of the Frankfurt Airport are going to be able to get tested. There's a sort of a normal testing route where they can come in, and it will take around 6 to 8 hours to get the test. So they come in, they pay for it, they get the swab, and then 6 to 8 hours later they can get the test results. They can do this the day before, or if they have 6 to 8 hours the day of their flight, they can also do that. But then they also have a fast track route where they can come 2 to 3 hours before their flight and get the test fast tracked and sort of wait around the airport for that. What the uptake for this will be is a little unclear at this point. I know a lot of people aren't really looking forward to spending 2 to 3 hours at the airport more than they actually have to, but this is going to be really crucial, obviously, as more flights start being held and travel starts to resume, because a lot of countries will be requiring flyers to have coronavirus test results going forward.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it will be really interesting to see how this develops, especially because, by and large, travel has been pretty much halted due to the coronavirus previously. We now have the opening of this center. Is it a sign that the travel is picking up?
It definitely does come amid a pickup in global travel. This testing center is particularly crucial for international travel, which this week we're supposed to see EU borders reopen to outside countries. So we're looking at more and more travel from places like China, and a lot of that will require a greater level of accuracy on coronavirus tests. But even as travel picks up, even as airlines do start to add more flights into their lineup, it is going to take a long time for global travel to recover. Most airlines are really only operating at a fraction of their overall capacity, and they're looking at multiple years of a recovery. So something like 2023, 2024, until we really see the global air industry recover to its full power.
And in the meantime, let's hope that they can cut down on that test time. I think nobody wants to spend 3 additional hours in the airport. Chelsea Delaney at the Frankfurt Airport for us. Thank you. And here are some other developments in the pandemic. India has reported a new daily record of almost 20,000 new COVID-19 infections. Some states are reimposing a full or partial lockdown. Meanwhile, China has reimposed a strict lockdown near Beijing, affecting 400,000 people after an increase in cases there. And Australia's state of Victoria is considering reinstating social distancing restrictions. It comes after the country reported its biggest one-day rise in new coronavirus infections in more than 2 months.